Okay, so today you guys are going to be going over modeling two-step equations with variables on both sides. So just as a reminder, remember our steps in order to solve an equation. We move our smallest variable first to one side. Once we do that, we then add or subtract the constant, and then we multiply or divide our coefficient. So let's take a look at this first example. So I have 1/2 p plus 7 is equal to 3/4 p plus 9. So remember, your variable is not always going to be x, but we know our variable is p today. So the first thing I'm going to do is circle my smallest variable. 1/2 is my smallest variable, so I'm going to go ahead and circle that, and I know that's the variable that I am moving. So when I go ahead and start showing my work, I have 1/2 p plus 7 is equal to 3/4 p plus 9. So I know I need to move 1/2 p, so I'm going to subtract 1/2 p, and what I do to one side, I do to the other. Remember, I have my line to separate everything. Okay, this cancels. I'm left with 7 is equal to 1/2 p minus, or 3/4 p minus 1/2 p. So in order to subtract fractions, we know that you need to have like terms, a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this by 2. So now I have 3/4 minus 2/4. That gives me 1/4. So I have 1/4 p plus 9. Next, I'm going to subtract. So now I have my first step done. Now I'm going to subtract my constant on both sides. Remember, what you do to one side, you must do to the other. So now I'm going to do 7 minus 9, and I get -2 is equal to 1/4 p. Now, I am multiplying, but I need to divide. In order to divide by a fraction, you need to multiply by its reciprocal. So multiplying by its reciprocal means I'm going to flip my fraction. So now that's 4/1. So I'm really multiplying by 4 on both sides. So now I have p is equal to -8, because 4 times -2 is -8. So our answer is -8. All right. So now we're going to go into modeling and solving equations. So as you can see here, I have a model or a representation of an equation. So it could be like, you see these boxes and squares. This is a representation of our equation. So I know my variable is x, so I'm just going to write that so I know that's what I'm looking for. And I'm literally going to count how many x's and how many constants I have and write my equation. So I'm going to start on the left. So I have 2 x's on that side, so that's 2x plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 25. So plus 25. This is your constant, and it's positive because it has a positive sign there. Is equal to how many x's I have here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6x plus 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 plus 9. So now I have my equation. So I have this model, and I have shifted the model and created an equation. Now I can solve my equation. Same steps. I'm going to circle my smallest variable, which is 2x. So I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. I'm left with 25 is equal to 4x plus 9. Step 1 is done. Now I need to add or subtract my constant. So I'm going to do 25 minus 9 because 9 is my constant. What I do on one side, I do to the other. This cancels. I'm left with 4x is equal to 16. I'm going to divide by my coefficient. So that's done. This cancels. X is equal to 4. X is equal to 4. Okay, remember it's the same steps. Last but not least, I'm going to do one more example. So once again, x is my variable. Okay, I have two x's on the left plus 7 is equal to 369. 9x minus 7. And it's minus 7 because those constants are negative. So I'm going to draw my line all the way down. I'm going to circle my smallest variable, which is 2x. I'm going to move that to the other side. So I'm going to subtract 2x on both sides. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So I have 7 is equal to 7x minus 7. Step 1 is done. Now I'm going to add or subtract my constant. My constant is negative 7. I'm going to add 7. What I do to one side, I do to the other. This cancels. So I have 7x is equal to 14. Step 2 is done. Now I'm going to divide by my coefficient, which is 7 and not 4. Sorry. Okay. This cancels. X is equal to 2. Step 3 is done. X is equal to 2. So when you have a model, you're literally just taking that model and making it an algebraic equation, and then you go ahead and solve your steps. So you're going to go ahead and complete your spreadsheet for today, and have a good one.